Small World Lifters. Today I'm here with, introduce yourself.
Jason Coker.
Off.
Westside Barbell.
And today we're going to talk about all about you, your background, what it's like to lift at Westside, and what goes through your mind. Who are you outside Westside Barbell?
I'm still Jason Coker. I'm the same outside as I am inside of here.
Yeah, so what kind of, do you have a day job around lifting or?
I own my own painting company, so yeah, I work non-stop.
Okay, so that's like, you're like a businessman?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
No, I mean, I own it, but I do 99.9% of all the work too. So.
Does that mean you get to choose your own hours as well?
Yeah, which is anywhere from 10 to 18 hours a day I work.
And that makes lifting at Westside easier?
No.
No?
A lot harder.
Okay. So what got you into lifting?
I've lifted since I was a kid. When I went to the penitentiary, I did my first powerlifting meet in prison and got out of prison and kind of kept up doing it.
So what year was that, maybe?
96, 94.
That was the year I was born, so. How and when did you realize you had abilities in powerlifting?
When I started really focusing on the bench press back in, I guess it was 2002. And then I set my first world record in 2006.
2006. Multiply? Is that
Yes.
the bench or the total?
The bench.
Damn.
I benched 711 at 198.
Have you used any other training programs before coming here?
Yes.
And how did you get on with them?
I trained with Big Iron and used more of the Big Iron training system. Most of my training was on my own for years. I trained heavy all the time. I trained a lot of bodybuilding movements, but everything was extremely heavy.
Yeah. So you never did 5-3-1 or 5-5? No.
No, don't even know what it is.
So now, like, to talk about lifting here, what do you think you have in common with other Westside lifters, and that makes you able to lift here, and what does it take to be here?
The desire to be the best. You can't train here if you don't want to be one of the best. And that's what I have in common with most of the lifters here. They want to be the best, and will do whatever it takes to do that.
So your training partners, naming a few, what are their best qualities?
Luke Edwards, Chuck Vogelpool, Jake Anderson, it's all or nothing. You know? Luke Edwards, 2 kidneys, still doing it, all or nothing. There he is right there. Jake Anderson, still doing it. Chuck Vogelpool's got a cage in his back, still doing it. They give 100% of the time.
And you've had your own fair share of injuries?
Yes, absolutely.
What are you currently rehabbing?
Broken back, S1, L5.
And you've been very public with that on
Yes.
Instagram and stuff. How's that coming along?
It's coming along great. I'm back under the bar.
That's good. How and when did you start training here?
It's been about 7.5 years ago. I started driving down from Indianapolis training here during the week. It's been usually 3 days here and drive back to
And
Indianapolis.
that's where you're originally from, Indiana?
No, from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. I guess that's where you got your southern accent from, right?
Yes, I didn't realize I even had one.
What is it about Westside that suits you?
The mentality. The mentality, and we're all a big, fucked up family. But the mentality here is different than that of any gym.
Could you talk about the pressure on you to perform here?
Well, I mean, the pressure is what you make it. You know, I deal good with pressure. I like to lift under pressure. I do my best under pressure. You know, so if you can't deal with pressure, you don't belong here, because it's either going to make you or break you. A lot of guys can't deal with it. So it's pressure. You put the pressure on yourself to be the best. That's why you're here, is to be the best.
And what exactly keeps you motivated to train with such intensity day in and day out?
This board and world records.
Let's look at your numbers there. So Coker 2230, Coker 2405 in the 181s and the 198s. The squat records, can you talk about those? 950, 1000, 1040?
Yeah, that 181, 950, 198, 1000, 220 was 1040. The benches, I've got a 900 all-time world record at 198. I benched 860 at 220, 850 at 242. I've totaled 2230 at 81, 2405 at 198, and 2435 or 24 or 40, I think, at 220. I don't know. It's been erased from people's spot.
And did you build up into those classes, or did you cut down into those classes?
Some of them I cut down to, and some of them I went up into.
Would you prefer eating up into a weight class?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What is going through your head before you attempt a big lift on the platform? I've seen you before squats, looking all crazy.
Just, it's me and the weight. I'm trying not to let the weight win. It's a war. It's a fight with me and whatever on that bar. You know, you train with people, but on the platform, it's you and the weight. You know, you stand alone on the platform. So it's not we're not lions, we're not warriors. We lift weights, but when you're on that platform, it is in a sense, it's a battle. It's a fight with you and that whatever's on that bar.
So the bar's the enemy.
That's right.
How do you get psyched up for a big lift, and does it mentally tax you against your everyday life?
I just no, it doesn't mentally tax me at all. If anything, it helps. I just think about getting whatever's on that bar. You know, I'm not going to let it win, and I won't quit as long as that bar is moving. If you know me, you know I'm a grinder. I won't quit. If it's moving, or even if it stalls, I'm going to keep pushing on it. So if I can get it moving 9 times out of 10, I'm going to lock it out.
Do you train 2 sessions a day?
No.
You don't? Any reason why?
Yeah, I work all the time.
Okay, because a lot of lifters come in later on, don't they, to do assistance?
I don't have time to, but I do assistance pretty much all day long at work.
Do you structure your assistance training at all in any particular way?
No.
No?
I just figure out where my weaknesses are, depending on my max effort movements, where I'm weak at, and that's where I focus my assistance on.
What's your favorite assistance exercise for bench, squat, and deadlift, and why?
I like dirty 30s for my benching and for triceps.
Could you explain to people, because I know you kind of named it dirty 30s, so could you explain to the people what a dirty 30 is?
10 skull crushers followed by 10 pullovers with your elbows in, keep the bar close to your face, followed by 10
Close grips.
Close grip bench press. So yeah, when you do it at the end of your workout as a finisher, add weight each set and do 10, 10, and 10 dirty 30s. It'll destroy you.
Do you know your record on that?
Nope. Don't have one. Just go until I can't go anymore.
Squat and deadlift?
My favorite assistances on squat. Talk about like variation of a squat.
Yeah, or anything.
Bar squat against chains or against bands. I feel like if you can squat big weights on a camber bar, when it comes time to just free squat with straight weight on a regular bar, you'll obliterate something. Well, as far as deadlift goes, pulling off deficits is my favorite.
What is it about the camber bar? Does it make you use your back more?
It makes you try to keep yourself in position because the bar wants to swing. And by it swinging, it's throwing you out of position. So you got to fight hard to stay in position.
And conversely, what assistance is the biggest pain in the arse for you?
Bell squat.
Yeah, and does that help you a lot?
It helps me, yes.
Exactly.
But I hate it. But it does, it helps a
And
lot.
anyone for bench in particular that you hate?
No, I pretty much like all bench movements. I don't like benching off of boards too much unless I'm in a shirt. But as far as wall and straight weight, I like all variations. They don't bother me.
Let's talk about Louis. How much guidance do you get from him in the gym?
Quite a bit.
Yeah?
Quite a bit. Louis always giving you guidance.
Yeah.
It's up to you to kind of figure out what the fuck he's talking about, how to apply it. He gives guidance all the time. At breakfast in the gym, all the time. You just have to listen because he gives it in different ways.
He's like the watchful eye here,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Louis sees everything. He acts like he doesn't, but he sees everything. He pays attention to everything.
What's it like being coached by him?
He doesn't coach.
No?
Nope, Louis not a coach. Louis teaches. He teaches the system, and then we coach each other.
Yeah.
Louis sits back and just watches what's going on. That's it. Louis not a coach.
See, that's interesting because a lot of people
Look at
who
Louis
don't,
as a coach. No, Louis don't coach. We all learn the system. You learn the system by being here. And what Louis has done is created a whole bunch of coaches. We coach each other. Louis sits back and watches. Or he might one day say, hey, try this. Louis not a coach.
Do you get a lot of guidance from Tom Barry?
Yes. Very, yep. You get a lot of, we get guidance from everybody.
Yeah.
You don't belong at Westside. If you can't learn, you can learn from, anybody. I can learn from a guy who bench presses 135. You can learn from anybody. If you're too proud to learn from somebody, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
You learn from everybody.
If you had to pick one, what is the most important lesson that you've learned from Louis?
Probably to quit training heavy all of the time.
That sounds contradictory.
Yeah.
So could you explain what you mean by that?
Because I've been hurt now for years. I broke my back several times. I've done everything. And it's, you know, I'm older now. Training heavy all the time got me strong, but it's also tore me up. So now I'm getting older, and I've learned the hard way I can't train that way anymore. I've got to taper them. I've got to wave my training more and have lighter days and focus on different movements instead of trying to go out to an all-out max every single time I get under the weight.
So could you maybe have like 2 dynamic sessions a week rather than a max effort and a dynamic?
No, I still do my max effort, you know, but instead of doing
with a light
effort,
movement,
and then on my dynamic day, I would do speed working up to a max effort. So I was always lifting heavy.
Yeah.
Now I'm actually doing more of a max effort, more of a dynamic day.
Oh, okay.
Instead of doing every training session was heavy no matter what.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of getting older, do you have any advice for masters lifters?
I mean, do what you do. I really don't. I don't want to compete as a master. I won't do it. When I feel like, for me, myself, when I can't stay in the open weight class and still be competitive, I'm done. You know, that's just me. For a master lifter that actually competes in the masters, be all you can be, I guess.
Do you think they should train more or less, or?
Just be smarter about their training. Be smarter about it.
Be smarter about recovery. That's going to be more important.
You know, we're old now. We don't heal up like we used to.
Is there anything you'd like to pass on to people trying to start out in lifting?
Yeah, it's been said a million times, but it's a marathon. It's not a race, not a sprint. So take your time. Don't expect numbers to jump overnight. It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
Take your time. Be patient. Put in work. Build a base, and then worry about everything else. It'll come.
And you're a bench specialist, so I've just got a few quick bench questions for you.
Yep.
If you're kind of weak coming off the chest, what kind of assistance would you do?
I would do deficits, you know, so you're putting yourself at a lower position in the bottom. Bench with like camber bars, 3-inch camber, 5-inch camber bar.
No arch?
Excuse me?
Bench with no arch, maybe?
Yeah, do Larson presses, you know, with your feet up on the bench. Take all of the advantages that you use normally and take them out of the equation. You know, do that for a while and then test your bench and see what's happened out of the bottom. Another thing is speed benching. Get faster. You know, a lot of times when you develop speed in your bench and you're faster off your chest. But everybody's different, man. That's something that everyone, you know, you learn the system and you play with it and you figure out what works for you. What works for me might not work for the next person. That's why you either need to learn it yourself or have a coach that'll actually watch you and figure out what works for you.
Louis not a fan of building up the chest so much with the bench. What's your feeling on this?
I think, honestly, Louis wrong there. You need to build your bench. You need to build your chest up off your bench, for your bench. Why wouldn't you? It has part of the lift. You got to get your back, your chest, your shoulders. He doesn't really like doing a lot of shoulder work. He got hurt doing shoulders. I believe that shoulders will build a big bench. You know, you need your shoulders for stabilization, if nothing else. So you use your shoulders, your lats, your pecs, everything. So why wouldn't you build them all equally?
So do you do a lot of overhead press?
Yes.
Isometric work?
No.
How come?
I just don't really do it. I do like a lot of overheads, you know, and then I'll do dumbbell work, you know, front delt raises, side lateral raises, things like that, face pulls, stuff like that.
Dumbbell presses?
Yep.
Decline presses?
Nope. I feel like decline lifting is just an ego lift, in my opinion. Some people maybe it works for, but I don't believe in it.
Bands or chains on bench?
Either.
Either.
I prefer bands. Chains tear up my tendons real bad. Bands tear up my tendons real bad. I prefer chains.
Do you ever put both on?
Yes.
Is there any particular benefit to using both?
It's just a different form of accommodating resistance.
Different form of feeling it?
Another variation. It's all about changing.
Do you ever do JM presses with the safety squat bar?
No, can't do JM presses. I've got a real bad forearm and left wrist.
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You're just riding the wave right now. All right, is there any last words? Where can people reach you?
cokerbenching.com or jcokercoaching@gmail.com, or on Instagram, jcoker220.
All right, Small World Lifters, Jason Coker, we out.